I currently have 31 kids because I just had one born yesterday.
I enjoy my break so much when I have to come back and watch this trashy, mannerless, look-alike turtle with no shell. All I wanted to do was throw myself into the fire and burn, but I'm still here, so let's talk about him. I was going to cover all the couples together, but then decided that Kyle Gordy needed a video just for him. After Annie dropped him off after the airport, he started exercising on the bed with the same clothes that he was wearing to look sexy for her.
Basic routine.
Definitely not what I think about when I hear the word sexy. So Annie is looking beautiful at dinner while Kyle decides to dress as Adam Sandler. But that alone is an insult to Adam Sandler himself. He didn't even shower and used the excuse of being American.
But we don't do that in America. We do whatever.
If you love me, you do it for me then, though.
Speak for yourself, Kyle, not for us. However, even after his disrespectful ass shows up dressed like he's about to work out, he criticizes her for drinking a glass of wine that is very much needed after spending 2 minutes with you. Then the food arrives, and when he started slurping that spaghetti, all I wanted to do was to reach through the screen and slap him in the face. Not even my 2-year-old eats the way he does. Kyle continues to eat like he just came out of the womb.
It is very unsexy to see a man slurping his food, since there seem to be not so many people right now in the restaurant.
And now Annie is starting to question if this is who she wants in her life. She knew he was weird, she knew he was quirky, but slurping the food is just disgusting. The clicking, the loud eating, the back scratches, the throat holding are honestly nothing compared to the horrible human that he is. By spreading his genetic syndrome all around the world, by coercing women.
After having the miscarriage, I found out some things about Kyle that make me believe that his motives are not what he says that they are. It's because a conversation that me and him had afterwards, he was just telling me he needs to get these trips because he loves to travel and he loves his job because it gets him laid. More than likely, he's not trying this with same-sex couples. He is trying this with women who are trying to become single moms by choice. I did put my trust in Kyle because he knows exactly what to say and how to say it over the phone. But it's the meeting him in person and actually sitting down and spending time with him that you realize, like, something with this guy is very, very off.
And by striking channels over and over again for defamation. I think you have no idea what defamation actually means. So I'm going to pull up the dictionary for you. Wow, look at that. The act of communicating a false statement about a person that injures their reputation. But anyone with more than one brain cell that has seen through your hero complex, watched all the videos online, read and seen the testimonials women have made about you, understand what a horrible human being you are. I am an active Redditor, and when I ran into a post that Ali_Cat22 made, I wanted to send her all the blessing in the world for putting all of this information in one place for me to look at and read. Kyle claims in his Vice documentary that the women are the ones that request for natural insemination, but that's far from the truth because in the same documentary, the woman that he's doing this process with admits that Kyle was the one that suggested it and she agreed. He claims the chances of pregnancy are higher, but Dr. Bicken, who is a fertility doctor himself, shares the following.
Using a cervical cup or having sexual intercourse, if you timed it well, it's going to give you the same odds. Some would say cervical cup will give you better odds because you're putting it close to the cervix, but that's never been proven. But I would say at least the same odds.
So now, going back to the episode when Annie asked him what he was doing in Australia right before he came to Malta, he claims that he can barely remember what he was doing there.
Did you have sex with another woman
I
there?
don't know what I remember.
If you don't remember, that means yes.
He then says that he needed to do natural insemination because the woman was older, had a lower chance of becoming pregnant, and was desperate. Desperate. That is a word that barely leaves Kyle's vocabulary because he wants to seem like he's this amazing man helping desperate families and single women start a family when all he's doing is taking advantage of them. He also claims that this process is like a medical procedure, that there's no feelings involved, no ill intent, no emotions. But is that also the case for those alleged messages where he describes Black women that way? And then the horrendous things that he did to her? Is that also the case, Kyle? Or were those real things? And if you're wondering what those messages are, I will put up a link to them so you can read them yourself because I personally don't want to include those messages here because of all the things. In reality, he was having sex with someone there to help them have a child. Annie decided that she needed time to think about what Kyle did in Australia, and now she is back. They're going on a cruise, and Kyle has finally decided to wear something other than shorts. And as they're eating, the conversation of traveling around the world and having children comes up. And when Annie asks who will take care of the kids while he's working, he says, put them in a crib. You would think for someone that has over 70 children, he would know how to at least take care of one of them. But no, because the only thing that he cares about is to spread his genetic disorder and his sperm all over the world. And that takes us to his Sandland documentary, where he specifically says that he wants to have kids all over the world and aims to have 100 and even more. This documentary especially disgusts me because he goes from telling women you're going to be so tight, that's nice, to using the Bible verse to justify how many children he's going to have. On the boat, Annie and Kyle had their first kiss, and when Annie does something nice or follows his rules, he loves to call her good girl. And I kept wondering why this irked me. And then I remember that on one of the documentaries, there was this comment. I am currently pregnant after he donated sperm through natural insemination. Ignorantly, I did it without an STD being provided by him. Throughout the process, he kept calling me good girl, which felt degrading, like he wasn't doing it with the right intention. Almost immediately after meeting him in the hotel room, he was demanding blowjobs, which wasn't what I was there for. After the sex, he would talk about and degrade women, single moms who have to receive benefits to raise their children, because apparently it's often them who seek his help. He promotes himself as charitably giving to others in the community, but when I found out I was pregnant and asked if I could be in contact with other mothers to the children who would be my child's half siblings, he told me, no until your child is 3 years old. His reason for that was in case women caused issues for him. To add icing to the cake, he was hoping I will put him on the birth certificate in the future, calling my future child a green card baby, which would enable him to freely travel around the UK donating sperm. A boy. And that is just one of the comments on some of the documentary. And there's more and more and more to be found. So it's clear that this man is not doing it because he wants to be charitable or because he's a good guy or because he's just doing the Lord's work. He's doing it because he has a huge ego. He's doing it because he has a kink.
You did good on the points. I was doing the math.
Yeah.
You did good.
So is that a kink that he's trying to fulfill? Does he feel a sense of dominance by doing that? Later on, when him and Annie are on a date, Annie shares that it is very important for them to start an intimate relationship.
I think the physical part of a relationship is really important.
And then she tells him that his sperm donation thing is an addiction, but he denies it. And to help his argument, he brings up the most ridiculous explanation.
This girl has a baby. This woman doesn't have a baby. She's running out of time.
I don't care about this.
I'm so nice to her.
Yeah, but
How is that helpful? How does that even answer the question that you are not an addict? I think it is very important to see this man for what he truly is. He's not a quirky little guy trying to help women. He's not God sent to spread his seed. He's an ugly little man. takes advantage of desperate women and lies to their faces. I know that has already been brought up, but Kyle has a genetic disorder called dysautonomia, aka FD, which is a severe genetic condition that can kill or threaten the lifespan of a child. These are just some of the symptoms. Dry or watery eyes, swings in body or skin temperature, vision problems, chest pains, dizziness, sexual dysfunction, migraines, trouble swallowing, shortness of breath, fatigue, pinpoint or wide-eye pupils. Like, just imagine, and these are just some of them. It's not even like the entire list of the things that this man is passing down to the kids. And yes, I do know that this is just a recessive. But if the mother has it, then the child is going to have it. And there's also a chance that the kids of the kids are going to come out with it. So what is he doing?
We have screenshots of him speaking to a woman, another profile, essentially sending screenshots of his 23andMe that are doctored and that do not include the FD portion. We also have evidence that he has admitted to having this condition, okay? And that he will not disclose it. He doesn't feel he
does not provide his genetic testing. And when asked for it, he loves to give people the runaround. Even their website where contracts are posted, just out of the APDF attachment, only the 7-1 had the mentions of it. And they actively mentioned that contracts are not really required. However, joke is on him because here enters Jen. Kyle can pretend to be smart and know many things about the sperm donor world, but one thing he lacks is knowledge on how the law works. Because him lying or not disclosing his genetic disorder in California falls under rape by deception. And Jen and multiple women are coming for you. They want answers. You could have stayed away from the 90-Day Fiancé world, but your ego was bigger. And now you have channels like James Rush, Movie Man, and many others making videos about you and spreading awareness. Now, I encourage you guys to go ahead and watch all the other videos that have been made about Kyle, including Jen, which is the woman that has been making videos about him. I think she has a 3-part playlist where she goes in depth on all the things that Kyle did and how he forced her to be intimate with him. So I do encourage you guys to go ahead and watch those. Kiki and Kiblix also had an interview with her, and I think that interview is very important to watch. James Rush made an incredible video going in depth on all the other things that he did, and I just feel like we do need to spread a lot of awareness onto this so everyone can know who this man is. Very important. And also, I know that some people are going to say that TLC has nothing to do with this and that they can't do anything, you know, the network is just, it's out of their hands, but it is not. It is very easy to use your platform for good things, and it's very easy to use your platform for bad things. And that's exactly what TLC is doing. They could have chosen not to put him there, and I refuse to believe that TLC had no idea what this man did, because it's only a couple clicks away. All this information is accessible to everyone, so there is no excuse. Now, thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about this horrible man that we have.